Hello guys, my name is Jules Angelo Sebastian from 11 Go, and I am here today to talk about earthquakes. So let's get started. What is an earthquake? Earthquake is an intense shaking of the Earth's surface. The shaking is caused by the movements in the Earth's outermost layer. When the stress on the edge overcomes the friction, there is an earthquake that releases the energy in the waves that travel through the Earth's crust, which causes the shaking that we feel. The earthquakes are usually caused in the underground rock, suddenly breaks and there is a rapid motion along the fault. Parts of an earthquake. So this is an anatomy of an earthquake. The plates are the massive rocks that make up on the outermost layer of the Earth's surface, and whose movements along the faults triggers the earthquakes. Seismic waves are the ones that transmit the energy by the earthquake. The fault are the fracture in the rocks that make up the Earth's crust. The epicenter is the point at the surface of the Earth, directly above the focus. The focus, or the hypocenter, is the point within the Earth where the earthquake rupture starts. So, mag-Ilonggo ako. So, kung sa Ilonggo, ang focus, dara gahalin ang linog, dara sa umpisagid galupok. Ang epicenter, amo nang suwabaw, ang direct target, the upper part, kung diin katabo ang shaking. So, ang seismic waves ga-transmits ang energy pasaka ang direct nga top da amo ng epicenter. So, back to English. Earthquake trivia. On the average, magnitude 2 and smaller earthquakes occur several hundred times a day worldwide. Major earthquakes greater than magnitude 7 occur only once per month. Great earthquakes, or magnitude 8 and higher, occur about once a year. An earthquake under the ocean can cause tsunamis, obviously. The longest recorded earthquake lasted for 10 minutes. And the Ring of Fire, also referred as the Circum-Pacific Belt, is a path along the Pacific Ocean characterized by active volcanoes and frequent earthquakes. The majority of the Earth's volcanoes and earthquakes takes place along the Ring of Fire. Also, did you know that the Philippines, our country, ara na sa part sa Ring of Fire? So, bale, umana para may ginalinugan gitu de, or gana volcanoes, something like that. So, plate tectonics. The father of the plate tectonics, Alfred Wegener, proposed the continental drift in 1912. Plate tectonics is a scientific theory that explains how major landforms are created as a result of the Earth's subterranean movements. In plate tectonics, Earth's outermost layer, or lithosphere, is made up of the crust, and the upper mantle is broken into large rocky plates. So, as you see on the bottom right corner of the screen, amo na ang mga plates nga pag-divide ng mga rocky parts by continent. Ang the upper right corner si Alfred Wegener. So, bale, hindi sure ay makita itong subong kay, obviously, kung makita niyo. Pero, you can search him in Google if you want. Plate tectonics, the theory. The Earth's lithosphere is broken up into several large tectonic plates that move relative to each other due to magma convection in the mantle and density variations in the lithosphere. So, bale, ang magma na doga convect nga sa tunga, ang mga doga move ang mga plates. As I explained earlier, the Ring of Fire stretches about 40,000 kilometers long. And here are the plate boundaries. The convergent boundary are the ones that subducts under another, or when two plates collide and push each other upwards. The divergent occurs when plates pull apart separate from each other. A transform boundary is when the plates slide each other. Slide lang sila. Next is continental drift. Continental drift was a revolutionary theory explaining the continents' shift position on the Earth's surface. In the early 20th century, Wegener published a paper explaining this theory that the continental land masses were drifting across the Earth, sometimes flowing through the oceans and into each. Long time ago, bale, sang una pang naunan, ang Earth isa lang sa landmass called Pangaea or Pangaea. So bale, through the years of process, millions of years, since 150 million years ago, they break up daw kamo bulagay ng kumugapon. Tapos ma-separate into what is now the continents. The effects of earthquakes. The primary effects of earthquakes are the ground shaking, ground rupture, landslides, tsunamis, and liquefaction. Fires are probably the single most important secondary effect of the earthquakes. Surface faulting, tsunamis, soil liquefations, ground resonance, landslides, and ground failure either directly linked to the earthquake source or provoked by the ground shaking. So, damo, hindi lang pagdinog, uyog, damo, dalasa. Ang mga bukid, kaka-landslide. Antes kung matabo sa ocean, sample maglinog. Ang tubig, gasaka. Amo na kung sa shore ka mo, delikado. Maglinog. Who are affected by earthquakes? Earthquakes usually sever damage to urban centers, resulting in the loss of life, damage to homes, and other infrastructure. Although risks are normally associated with cities, and the effects on the rural sector and farming communities can be devastating. So, countries with the most affected people by earthquakes through the millions is China. Chinese people experience several losses, 70.9 million. Next is India, and next is Chile. So, here we are now. What should we do before an earthquake? First, know the earthquake hazards in your area. Example, may building da, delikado ka, bale, pagkad ka kanta sa open area. Secure movable items or furnitures. Ang skruwan ng mga gamit, pang tapean, duct tape, flex tape, basta di malasig, di matumba. Breakable items, harmful chemicals, and flammable materials should be stored properly. Hindi mo gusto masunugan ka mo, dapat taguon agad ang mga flammable. Remember the exit routes and the evacuation plan. Obviously, amo na perform sa atin, di ba? Kung diin ka ma-tsuga, practice nila na dapat nga kung maglinog, ganda na kamo. Prepare a handy emergency supply kit, the first aid kit, canned water, can opener, bottled water, clothing, blankets, battery-operated radio, and extra batteries and flashlight. So, amo gini ang mga kailangan mo ibutang sa emergency kit in case may matabok nga linog. Also, as I said earlier, participate in earthquake drills. So now, what should we do during the earthquake? During the earthquake, response during shaking, permi mo natin nimo, drop, cover, and hold. Or stay in the safer part of the room. Ang mga suga na, delikado, ginamaglinog, or mga isame, maglinog, ikaw gidang direkta. So that means keep your head safe as always. Stay calm and alert. Watch out for falling objects, glass window. So, back to the topic. If outside, move into an open area. So, bale sa lapad kumuda. Sa wala building dapit da. Just like I said earlier. If near the shore, move quickly to higher grounds. So, as I said earlier again, tsunamis. Very bad hazard. Move away from steep slopes or landslides kung di gusto mag-slide ng kamukod sa guta. Kasi madalas sa ulo. So, stop if you are inside a moving vehicle. Do not cross bridges, overpasses, or flyovers. Kung gapas ka sa flyovers, basta makapas ka man pa sa langit. Okay, mamit mo si Lord. So, here are the illustrations. Put it yourself. So, next. What should we do after an earthquake? Evacuate. As soon as the shaking stops, take the fastest and safest way out. Diretso nagwa. Kung nagpundo na, hindi na magpadugay-dugay. Expect aftershocks. So, bale, kadalinog miyara gina time nga malinog liwat nga minor earthquakes, small earthquakes. Be updated, monitor the situation from the radio. So always listen ka mo sa mga news and updates, and put out small fires using an extinguisher, and check yourself and the others for injuries. So bale, kung tapos ng linog, check nyo kung may mga bruises ka mo or may mga nabilin pa to, balikan nyo. Pero ako wala akong balikan. So next is to, once the shaking stops, go outside to the open areas, clear from structures like I said earlier. Also check nyo head count. 1, 2, 3. Isipon nyo kung pila ka mo, basta may kulang mo isa, balikan nyo to. Iyawan to ulit sa inyo. So, that's it. Thank you for listening, and once again, my name is Jules Angelo and Sebastian from Bo 11. This is my performance task in Earth Science. Once again, see you next time.